You know, they caused us a fair few problems. You know, I think we came into this game, obviously, especially with the circumstances that, you know, Southampton are going through. They knew they were going to, you know, come out fighting, and we had to be ready for that. You know, and I feel like for a team, you know, that we put out there today, some of us haven't played much this season. You know, we had really young lads as well, and, you know, I think we fought as a team, and, you know, thankfully we can come away with the win.
Tyler was one of those young lads in the team as well. You must have been really pleased with the way the team started there and got control early on.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a tough test for us. A lot of the young lads coming in, Shape making his debut. It was lovely for everyone. So obviously it's tough. It's tough staying ready and staying ready to play. But I think everyone that played today was ready, and I think the gaffer chose a different side, and it was tough for us at the start. And I think we gained control very early on, which gave us a lot of confidence, and especially myself. So. Yeah.
Absolutely, and those 2 goals that you got early on seemed to put you in a really good place, Harvey. Were you surprised at the way Southampton did come back at you?
I wouldn't say surprised, to be honest, because, you know, if you look at the Premier League game, they cause us problems as well. You know, Southampton are a side full of confidence, and, you know, they're not scared to, you know, play out from the back and take risks, and, you know, it's credit to them. They caused us, as I said, problems today, and they have done before. But it was just about how, you know, we could deal with them problems as a team, and the pressure that they were putting on. You know, making sure we stand strong and defend as well as we can, and, you know, despite conceding 1 goal, I felt like, you know, we've done that very well.
Tyler, is that part of the learning process when you get put under so much pressure like that? Is it something you can really take something from?
Yeah, definitely. I think playing at this club with these fans, it gives you so much confidence, and especially even when you're down, you feel like you're going to come back in the game straight away because of the energy that they give us, and the energy that we all have as a team, and it was a good fight from us, and I think right to the end, people playing different positions, so it was tough for us, but it was really good for us, and we're very thankful to the fans for the energy they give us.
Well done, you through to the last 4, but it's Harvey who gets the Carabao Cup Player of the Match. Will you do the honours, Tyler?
Well, of course he will.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries about that.
Well done, lads.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Just stay there 1 sec for a photo.
It was tough for them in that second half. Is that partly to be expected, given the youngsters in their lineup in that second half?
Yeah, I think once that sort of momentum changes slightly, obviously Trent going off and McAllister a little bit later on, Joe Gomez as well. And then it is a big ask. I think at 2-0 it looked as though it was very comfortable and felt as though Liverpool were going to really stroll to an easy win. But once that tide turns, and it's a great experience for those younger players to have to deal with that, you know, different dynamic in the game. And I think overall, although they made hard work of it, they'd be really pleased to come away with that win.
There's also a lot of credit that has to be given,
I believe, which I think, you know, the way that they defended tonight, there was a few moments where you thought they're puffing their chest. A few of the players were sort of giving, you know, getting the fans sort of G'd up a little bit. Those sorts of moments can't be underestimated. And like I said, although they lost, I think they can take a lot forward and a lot of belief. And there were some good performances, albeit Liverpool's side was significantly weakened. But they still had to play what was in front of them. Fans sort of G'd up a little bit. Those sorts of moments can't be underestimated, and like I said, although they lost, I think they can take a lot forward and a lot of belief, and there were some good performances, albeit Liverpool's side was significantly weakened, but they still had to play what was in front of them.
Yeah, as Izzy says, that second half the chests were puffed out defending, and they did put their bodies on the line. There were still those errors in the first half that certainly led to the first goal in particular.
Yeah, again, listen, I think when you look at what's happened recently, it would have been very easy for them to go under, and this was a little bit indicative of what has been happening at Southampton. And again, there, Bednarek has to get a better contact on the ball. Alex McCarthy then slips as well, which makes it a simpler finish in the end for Núñez.
Yeah, and Núñez does well. The run, he makes the run first and foremost. Debatable, is he onside, offside? It's tight. There's no VAR, of course, like you mentioned at half-time. But this situation, I don't think Núñez's first touch is brilliant. And I think he's lucky the way that it falls to him. But he's got the endeavour. He takes this touch here, almost goes away from him. But I think because McCarthy slipped here, as he's getting up, it gives Núñez the time to actually then get on the end of that touch.
We can see that slip just there.
Yeah, it's pivotal in that moment because Núñez is coming at him centrally, and McCarthy's central. There's actually less of the goal for Núñez to aim at, but it gives him that slight angle, Núñez, to provide the finish in the bottom.
Do you give Núñez some credit there? I know you're not a big fan of the first touch, but bearing in mind there is a school of thought that he's a much better finisher when he doesn't have time to think about it, and he was clean through there.
Yeah, I certainly think so, and I think his first touch actually takes it away from him. You'd expect most forwards in the Premier League to take a cleaner first touch at this point. I'm being really, really picky here. He smashed the ball into the back of the net, which is the most important thing. But
he isn't going to miss that. Listen, he's needed a goal, and his finishing hasn't been great this season. But if you want an opportunity to get yourself going, that is exactly it. Yeah.
He needed it.
And the second goal, I mean, the build-up is great here.
It is, and it's all about Harvey Elliott's movement for me. McAllister, his midfield partner, drifts wide. He's bottom of the screen. And Harvey Elliot just takes a sort of central number 10 position, but it's his movement, we'll probably see it on the second angle. Finish is excellent, takes a small deflection off Manning, but we can just watch here highlighted in the top of the screen. He goes into the space to then step out of the space, which actually gives him that half a yard to then go and take the first touch and fire across Alex McCarthy, but you can see it here even better. Defenders are in a bit of a twist, they don't know how to mark him, and the way that his movement, first touch with his left foot, right foot finish.
That's the key for me in terms of putting the ball exactly where you want to have it to get that next touch, which is going to be your finish, albeit on his right side. But the way he just cushions it, takes the weight out of the ball, but puts it in front of him, yes, gets a deflection on the way through, but a really lovely finish.
When you look at Southampton, so many times this season, and I know they've been criticised defensively, but you look at their possession stats or chances created stats, they're not in the bottom half of the Premier League. You know, they're top half, but they can't score. Now, if Cameron Archer could do this a little bit more in the Premier League, then who knows? Yeah,
listen, it's a brilliant, first of all, intent to go and be positive and get himself, the minute he cuts onto that right foot, again, for those of us who've seen him in the Championship, it's what he has done, and he's so sharp. And again, for me here, there's only one thing on his mind, which is what I really loved. Brilliant finish from that angle. Liverpool defending has to be better, though.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to cover that inside space. You can see from his body language, he checks here onto his right foot. It's Morton who's covering, and I think he just over-covers a little bit and gives Cameron Archer the chance to sort of shape that, and what a finish.
And then 3 minutes later, he had another chance which brought a good save from Kieran Kelleher.
Yeah, fantastic reaction save. And just felt like the whole mood at St Mary's had changed. I think Southampton players felt certainly a lot more belief than they had done in the rest of the game. They had a really good period, and unlucky there obviously with that first one. This one's a great block there. Fantastic defending to make sure he gets across, and there was a real time in that game where you did feel that Southampton were going to get themselves back in it and draw themselves level. But
this is a great save. In a
reaction.
Ballpark of Emi Martinez saves, by the way, off the back of the weekend. That's average. No, I'm really joking.
I was wondering where you're going
brilliant.
with that.
That's brilliant. That's a brilliant instinctive save, and I don't think there was any more that Archer could have done. I think he's really clever with the way he
most saves look average compared to the Emi Martinez one at the weekend. Southampton do, I would imagine, we haven't heard from them yet, feel aggrieved at this. It probably wasn't a penalty.
It's a foul. Absolutely.
And a free kick and a red card.
Yeah, I mean, the minute Quansah allows this ball to bounce, he's banging trouble. You know, Fernandez is getting the other side of him. And at first, from behind, you may feel the ball's not going to go all the way, it's going to bounce through to Kelleher. But when you look at it from the other angle, I think that's the thing that, for me, we'll see it better here. Look, Quansah's got to get to the pitch of the ball and just get something on it. Doesn't. Now he's all over Fernandez, drags him down. Look where that ball stops there. Kelleher's not going to get there. Fernandez would be the one getting onto that, and for me it's a really poor decision.
Yeah, it's the wrong decision. Should have been sent off, and it wasn't a penalty, but I really like the run from Fernandez, the endeavour, and I think that's what we're talking about with Southampton, that kind of desire in the last minute to try and get back in the game. They can definitely take that through into the...
Well, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, OK, this is how we've done it, albeit against a slightly changed Liverpool side, but to harness some of that fight and desire, which most definitely wasn't there on Sunday when they were beaten by Tottenham.
No, it wasn't, but then I go back to the point they got against Brighton in the Premier League a few weeks ago, and I thought the aggression was at its best I've seen from Southampton this season. They got a point from it, but I wouldn't say they were like at those levels of aggression tonight, but I think the endeavour, and you could sort of feel it from the players in terms of they wanted it. They really wanted to improve, and they took a lot of pride. Howard Bellis, celebrating clearances off the line. I think that sort of mentality is what they need to harness moving forward.
Back to St Mary's, get the thoughts of Arne Slot with Johnny Phillips.
Arne, lots of challenges for your team in the end tonight. How impressed were you with the way they came through them?
First half really good. Good performance. Played really well, 2-0 up. It didn't came as a complete surprise to concede the goal, because I think before that we were a bit starting to get a bit sloppy. Lost 1 or 2 easy balls, in my opinion. And then they came back in the game where we had later onwards a few chances to make it 3-1, which we didn't. That's why it was tight till the end.
Your supporters were in fine voice at the end. They love this tournament. What does it mean now to be in the semi-finals?
No, we have to defend the trophy because the club won it last season. I wasn't involved, but the players were, and Jurgen, of course, with his staff. So we want to compete in every league, and this is one of them. So we're happy that we reached the semi-final. Although we're also aware of Newcastle, Arsenal, and probably it's either Tottenham and Manchester. So it's going to be it's always a tough competition, but this time for sure.
And how did you enjoy the view from upstairs, staying out of trouble?
You have a very good view. It's not the first time that I sit there. Sometimes I go to the stadium just to enjoy a game, so you always have a better view than when you are down. But it's sometimes also difficult where you want to have. You want to influence your players. That is a bit more difficult from upstairs. But I have such a good staff with Sipke, with Arne and with John, that these three, or even when I wasn't even around, these three were able to bring this game over the line.
So 100% in the Champions League, top of the Premier League, and he's talking about how important it is to defend this trophy as well. He can do no wrong at the moment.
Oh, it's an incredible start, isn't it? And I think there was a lot of probably uncertainty, obviously, with him coming in and the shoes that he had to fill. But when you look at that, and they've had injury issues, we've heard other clubs maybe making a little bit of an excuse about missing key players at time. But, you know, Konate's been out recently. Alisson was a miss. Jota's been out for large spells as well. So to actually have put that together in those circumstances, and probably a little bit more to come as well, phenomenal start.
So we're at Tottenham tomorrow, Newcastle, Arsenal, Liverpool, and then one of Tottenham and Manchester United. Good luck trying to predict that tomorrow.
Is that a prediction you're wanting?
Yeah.
Goals,
I'm not
goals.
willing. Goals, absolutely. I mean, it'll be a high-scoring game. Two teams, you know, arguably, I'm not going to say pressure, but two very exciting teams for different reasons. Obviously, Manchester United with Amorim coming in. How are Manchester United going to perform? Manchester United obviously won this cup in recent years, and we'll be looking to keep their name in and around the top end of this competition. So, yeah, I think tomorrow night will be brilliant.
But it's whoever goes through tomorrow, that is a heavyweight semi-final lineup, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely huge. And I think particularly with the two-legged affairs as well in the semi-finals, a lot of brilliant football to come. And again, I'm sure they'll all be looking for that draw, because it's a great opportunity to win that little bit of silverware. If it's Spurs, it's been so long for them. Obviously Newcastle as well, and as you say, Liverpool trying to defend it, and Arsenal and maybe Arteta needing a little bit just to keep things going from his point of view.